Oh, everybody. Uh, Overhead is one of our oldest air tankers. It's the KC-11. It's the KCL-1011. One of our oldest planes, older than the KC-10 and the C-17. It's a cargo plane and a air refueler. Ladies and gentlemen, overhead, the KC-1011. Benjamin overhead you at the National 4th of July on the National Mall. We come to you live from the National Mall, where tons of flybys take place, including this one by the United States Air Force. Give a special thanks to the 449th Fighter Squadron from all the way from Anchorage, Alaska, and the 315th Air Refueling Wing at Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield, California. Here it comes again for a photo pass. Get your cameras out. This is a pass of a lifetime. Full engine throttle, boom in the receptacle. Here it is. Now, this aircraft comes with an air defense system. If anyone tries to shoot it down, it comes with a flare air defense system. Ladies and gentlemen, boom down, coming around again, coming around for their deployment. They're going to deploy the flares, and it's coming around again, and it is going to drop flares over the National Mall, and it should be here momentarily. Flying over, flying over. It's at 1,000 feet, a very low altitude, and it's throttling down and it's getting slow, and this can reverse thrust in air. It can't back up in air, but still reverse thrust. Now watch it reverse its thrust, spoilers out, and thrust reverser, and the spoilers are going back in. Spoilers deployed. Now it fires back up the engines, and it gives you the pass with the flares. Ladies and gentlemen, the flare pass. Pass of a lifetime. Now join us later, because that's not all. We have more flyovers featuring the new Air Force One aircraft, the old Air Force One aircraft, the F-22 demo team, the Marine Corps Ford ship F-35 Lightning demo team, and a lot more aircraft. NASA's Fleet Review and NASA's F-5 Freedom Fighters, part of America 250 display team, the Ghost Squadron. For it coming around for one more pass. Great opportunity. Get the cameras out. It's right above. Later tonight, we have what is going to be called one of the most biggest light shows and fireworks shows in the history of American firepower and the history of our nation. One of the biggest fireworks shows in history. Join us tonight at 7, 8, and 9, where the President of the United States of America will do a 4th of July annual speech. But for now, watch the flybys, get comfortable, and the Golden Knights are airborne. Our Coast Guard fixed-wing aircraft will be flying over shortly. Our Air Force aircraft will be flying over. Our jets will be flying over. The bombers will be flying over. Hopefully a B-2, and a lot more T-38 Talons that looks just like the F-35 Freedom Fighter, and this is coming around for yet another pass. We have word that this is the final only pass to give you the photo opportunity that you will get if you pull out a camera and record this. Is giving you one more photo opportunity. Benjamin, coming around, take a photo. Overhead, the B52 Advanced Hawkeye flying over the National Mall, circling the National Mall. This is actually watching over the events, being surveillance and flying over. It is also equipped with flares. It is a naval aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Northrop Station in Virginia, the E-2D. Welcome to America's Air Show, welcome to the best air show America has to offer in each and every plane in our modern day inventory. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes around again the E-2 Hawkeye, flying lower than it was on the first flyby, deploying flares, and here it comes. Is based the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier ship. Forgot the CVN code number, but still, here it comes again. Final pass. And now, after this, the F-18 F demo team, also from Norfolk, Virginia, will do the flyby, following by the B-A-18G Growler aircraft, the modified F-A-18G. F-A-18. F-A-18A, F Super Hornet flying over this event for your entertainment. And ladies and gentlemen, it's deploying its iconic flares. You never get to see this kind of event on the White House or near the White House and near the National Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, flying by the monument, F-A-18. Now watch it go all the way up, stall, come down, and give you a fast flyby, followed by the high alpha pass, and then followed by the gear out, all out, tail hook, spoilers out, slow pass. Now watch it stall all the way up there, and now he dives the plane right back down. And ladies and gentlemen, after this, another flyover will be featured by the Freedom equipped F-22 Raptor and the Freedom painted F-35 Lightning II. Here it comes. Here it comes. After Jim, and here it comes around for the high alpha maneuver pass. Now this is where the aircraft is stalled, is in a controlled stall, and it flies it flies super slow. The nose pointed to the air, but it maintains altitude. Here's the high alpha. There's room for one more good old. Ladies and gentlemen, before this aircraft leaves back to home base, what is going to do the 4-point roll, the flare out, gear out, and everything else out pass? Benjamin, now the EA-18 Growler, all the way um, uh, from West Point Naval Station in California, the EA-18 Growler flies overhead, full afterburner, all the way from California. One flyover, do not miss it. Full afterburner, flares deployed. Ladies and gentlemen, this aircraft is one of our surveillance aircraft used in the Maduro raid. The Maduro raid, it was a surveillance aircraft making sure nothing happened. It was a radar, it has the radars on it, advanced radars on it, replacing the older EA-18A model. Benjamin, now here it comes again. This aircraft is a radar-equipped FA-18F Hornet aircraft, and it's going to make just one more pass. I promise this time. One more pass. And now, ladies and gentlemen, very controversial historic aircraft that dates back to World War II, the P-38 Lightning bomber slash fighter aircraft, one of our first fighter aircraft used in the war. This one, if you zoom, if you can see it, you can see the flags on it, meaning how many times it bombed Japan in the war against Japan in 1943. It has the stripes on it, so it has bombed Japan a decent amount of times, and its information with the United States Air Force F-35A Lightning flying over, and it has the smoke on, and now it's making one more historical pass. Smoke on, and a five ship formation of F-35s and one ship of the P-38 Lightning flying right over you, giving a flyby of a lifetime. This might be the only time you get to see this type of formation, and just in case, it's coming around just one more time for your excitement. Jimmy is going up, and smoke on. Red smoke and it is coming down again. Watch how the pilots are so trained to follow every move of the lead aircraft. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here it comes, celebrating freedom overhead. They're going on home now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you will see is the U.S. Air Force Thunderbird 1 and the Civil and the U.S. Air Force Academy aircraft here live on the National Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. It should be approaching at any minute. You'll see an F-16. There's the Thunderbird, and following behind it is the U.S. Air Force Academy C-172 trainer aircraft. This is used to train our Air Force pilots until the brave aviation pilots we know today, which are flying over. It trains the Navy and the Air Force all the way from Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, the C-1. Here it comes, the U.S. Air Force Academy trainer aircraft. United States Air Force Academy uses these aircraft to train pilots. The same people who fly the big C-17 Globemasters train in these small aircraft. And it is an honor to have this aircraft all the way from Colorado, their U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado, to join us here at the White House for this amazing event. This is the best air show in our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a very controversial aircraft, the E-3 Century, the E-3D Century, F-8, F-18s, and the F-35s line up formation. This is our U.S. Air Force Interceptor and U.S. Navy Interceptor radar interceptor team, also known as RIT. Here is it. This E-3 Century is from Edwards Air Force Base in California. This aircraft is all the way from California, and if you look at it closely, you will see it has on it Boeing flight testing instead of U.S. Air Force. Now it belongs to the Air Force and Boeing. It's a test flight, so this one is one that works, but they're doing flight testing on the avionics of it. Now it is coming back around again. And as you see on it, it says U.S. Air Force and Boeing flight testing. It belongs to the Air Force and the Boeing Edwards Air Force Base flight testing program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as it comes around for one more photo pass, you'll be able to see this beautiful aircraft in all its glory. And now, Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, the C-40B aircraft from Joint Base Andrews flying over part of the 89th Airlift Wing at Joint Base Andrews, transporting the Vice President, Secretaries, and Cabinet members and the President's staff all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, overhead, the Boeing C-40B. Now, one more photo pass. The C-40 is banking at a heavy angle, and it will now be coming around for one more pass. Engine on. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us again, the Freedom Raptor F-22 Raptor equipped with smoke and flares, firework flares, as we call it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Freedom Raptor coming over, which was painted specifically for this event with spelled Freedom USA on the tail. Ladies and gentlemen, the Stars and Stripes Freedom Raptor flying directly overhead. Now, during the firework maneuver, what gives you the display of fireworks midair? Gives you the appearance of fireworks near in the air, red smoke, blue fireworks, and white smoke. Red, white, and blue, the all colors, which is shown on the aircraft. And gentlemen, here it comes again. Now he's going back and he's coming around one more time. Smoke on and fireworks ready. Now after this there will be a 30-minute gap where the flybys will pause until around 5 o'clock, where our aircraft flyovers will resume. So we will be back in 30 minutes after the break of after we'll be back after this jet flies by. When this jet flies by, there'll be a 30-minute flyby gap. So there'll be no more flybys until 5 o'clock. What the pilot did there is called a simulated crash. Now, the aircraft did not really crash. It gave the appearance of crashing when it actually didn't. It did not crash. The pilot is safe and nothing happened. This was a simulated crash. It got so close to the ground it looked like it would crash, but it did not. The pilot is okay. The aircraft is okay. Nothing bad happened. This was just a simulated crash. Now, here he is again. He will be coming back one more time before our flyby gap. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the P-8 United States Navy fixed-wing aircraft flying right over you, flying right above the P-8 Poseidon aircraft from Jacksonville Naval Station in Florida and Patuxent River Naval Station here in in Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, here they go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a B-52 from Louisiana and a B-2 bomber all the way from Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri. Now, they're practicing in the distance for their flyover, so it's just them. The B-1 bomber will be with them shortly. So they're just practicing right now, but they give you a pretty good view of them flying high. They are at 45,000 feet. No, 45, one, 4,500 feet, I think. Now, trailing behind them is the Boeing C-32, and with the plane, the C-32 was hidden right where the B-52 was, so you couldn't see it until it slowed down a little bit. But the C-32 was right behind it. It was right behind that B-52. You didn't even see it because it was going at the same speed as the B-52, and you didn't see it because it was there, and the B-52 was hiding the C-32. Now the C-32 is not flying over; it's just landing at Joint Base Andrews. But man, okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, going around again, as you see. That B-2 is a few thousand feet away from that B-52, but here they go around again on their training.